We're on the record in cause number 327352. The state of Texas versus Monica Sue Miller. Ms. Miller, would you please raise your right hand? Okay, Ms. Miller, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I
Ms.
do, I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Miller?
Well, I need my medicine and stuff and just a little shook up.
Okay, now, Ms. Miller, I have before me the information. The information is what we call the charging instrument. Okay, in this document, it states that on or about May 15th of 2020, you were charged with the Class B misdemeanor offense of failure to identify a fictitious name. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Ms. Miller, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
I'm guilty.
Okay, now, Ms. Miller, before we get started, you should have before you a document that is titled "The Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney." Do you see that document?
I have it right here.
Okay, now at the bottom of that document, you put your initials on the line that says that I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
And then you signed it, you put your signature on the line that says defendant and today's date of January 7th of 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, on the next document, you should have another document there that is titled Waiver of Counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. Do you see that document there?
Yes, sir.
And on the bottom of that, at least there's a line that says defendant. Did you sign that document?
Monica Miller.
Okay, you signed it, Monica Miller. Okay. Now, I also have before me a document on the computer tablet, and this document is State's Exhibit number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment. And on page 2 of this document, there are 2 sets of initials at the bottom of this document, and those initials are MSM. Are those your initials?
Monica Sue Miller, yes, sir.
All right. Now, on the 3rd page of this same document, there's a signature above the line that says defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, Monica Miller.
That's correct. And on the next document, which is titled the Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, at the bottom of this document, there's a signature that says, above the line that says defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, there are 2 boxes that's checked on this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you are waiving, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you sign and initials the documents that you have before you and the documents that's on this tablet, did you have an opportunity to read the documents?
Yes, I did, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, I did, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right. State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Miller, the state is offering State's Exhibit number 1 to be used as evidence against you. I'll explain to you what State's Exhibit number 1 is. State's Exhibit number 1 is a document on the computer tablet that has your initials on page 2 and your signature on page 3. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No objection, State's Exhibit number one will be admitted. Now, Ms. Miller, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
All right. Now, Ms. Miller, the court is going to accept your plea of guilty. The court will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. The court will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given, and the state will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 180 days to be probated over 1 year probation. Are you ready?
Okay, you say 180 over a year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
No fine,
okay,
80 hours community service,
okay.
and to follow all recommendations that are given to her by Spindletop.
Okay. Now, give me a head adjust. Okay, now, Ms. Miller, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in jail, but you will not have to serve any time in jail because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $352. And you'll be required to pay probation fees of $60 each month. You will be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. And this comes to a total that you would have to pay each month. You'll be paying $110 a month. Now, Ms. Miller, will you be able to pay the $110 each month?
No, sir.
Okay, now let's do this. Okay. I need to ask, Ms. Miller, just listen, I need to ask you a few questions. Ms. Miller, are you employed? Do you have a job?
No, no, sir. I'm disabled.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you get Medicaid?
Yes, sir. My sister, my power of attorney.
Okay, my question is, do you get Medicaid?
Yes, I get Medicaid, Melina.
Okay, let me just ask you this. Well, do you get SSI?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any SNAP?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about TANF?
Yes, ma'am.
It's the money like for children.
Oh, no, sir, no.
Okay, and what about public housing? Are you staying in?
No, sir, I'm with my son.
Okay, so how much do you get a month on the SNAP, the food stamps?
They went up to, I get one like 194.
194, okay. Okay. Now let me do this. Miss Ramos,
Yes, Your Honor.
pursuant to Article 1.24 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, a defendant is entitled to hearings and trials to be public. However, pursuant to Lilly versus State, the case can be closed to the public if there are security reasons or if it's non-public information that is being disclosed. And based on that, I think some of these questions that I have to ask Ms. Miller may require the disclosure of non-public information. And will the state be opposed to closing this hearing to the public?
No, Your Honor, I have no objections to closing the hearing to the public.
Okay, and now Ms. Miller, are you opposed to the court closing this hearing to the public?
No, sir.
Okay, and so the court is going to find that the closure of this hearing is there's an overriding interest that is likely to be prejudiced toward the defendant. The closure is broader than necessary to prevent or to protect the interests of the defendant, and the court consider reasonable alternatives, and therefore the court finds that there is sufficient evidence to support the closure of this hearing. Based on that, the court will, at this time, close the hearing